Hello and welcome everyone. My name is Khushbu Sharma and I am back with the exciting series of discussions that we've been engaging with our esteemed set of mentors and panelists at Voice of Healthcare Incubator. Since all of you all have experience right now that we have been discussing and engaging with our current set of mentors and advisors, just with an idea of grasping all their experiences and pieces of advices that they have for the next gen leadership. Today, I have the pleasure of having with me Dr. Manu Bhandari. He is the CEO of Helionext right now and a professional doctor. He started with his experience by pursuing a medical degree. He's based out of US and has diverse experience in sectors like healthcare and IT. Worked with companies such as GE Healthcare, Accenture, and now has been associated with Helionext since past 12 years. And needless to say that he has been playing an instrumental role in shaping up the company. So welcome so much, Dr. Manu. It is our pleasure to have you today.
Thank you very much.
So as I was just introducing everybody and just to let you know that the entire concept of these discussions and inviting all of you all is to just let our viewers understand little more clearly about the journey that they're just going to pursue in. Sure. I'm sure there might be a lot of doubts in their heads and I'm sure there might be so many questions that all of you all could be able to answer them. So
definitely, we'll do our best.
Absolutely. So let's before starting up with all the challenges and before starting up with what advices do you have, let's talk about a little bit about yourself. Why don't you let us know the journey from an MBBS doctor to now heading Helionext? So over to you.
It's been an interesting journey overall. I feel that definitely it has had its own ups and downs. Like anybody would experience, and my journey started when I was in final year of my MBBS, and then that's when I was thinking that probably I may not pursue medicine more. And I, at that point of time, there is an interesting incident which I always quote, and it was way back in 1997, and we were ready to pass out from medical college. And I went to one of my friends and there was this magical box called computer which was lying over there. And this was my first time that I had seen a computer. Like till that time in my life I had never seen computers. And I was mesmerized, and I'm sure everybody remembers those days when internet used to start with that ting song. And I don't know if you heard it or not, but that's when the modem used to as this work like. So my friend said, okay, fine, let's start it up. And then he switched it on and we started working. And then after some time he said, okay, switch it off. And that the first instinct was how I switched it on is I switched it off the same way, which was incorrect at that point of time. Like you had to give a command to switch it off before you could actually. So that's how my first interaction with computers was. And I was like, okay, I did the most challenging degree in in overall as this curriculum which is out there. Medicine is one of the most challenging fields. And I can't even operate a machine like computer, and that's when I took upon myself that okay, I'll learn everything about it, and the interest grew. So with time, I started learning coding. I coded in C, C++, HTML, and then I even coded in Java. So learned a bit of coding and. Wow. Then I moved to the technical side of it. I actually started looking out for opportunities outside medicine. And one of the initial opportunities which I got was in VOHI. It was quality of wealth, value and healthcare in US. And that was my exposure to US healthcare, which we initially started. And the company was called Omni Healthcare in Chandigarh. So that's when I got exposed to US healthcare. We were building a system which was evaluating how healthcare is provided and if there are ways of improving healthcare through, as it is, putting standard operating procedures across. So I did that for almost 3 years, and from there I moved to GE, where I worked in healthcare only. It was long-term care, medical underwriting, and we were supposed to look at medical charts, and based on that identify key as it is incidents in life of a patient to underwrite the policies. So it was almost 2 years that I worked with them, and then I moved to Satyam Computers, where my technical side of things was put to test. I became a business analyst, and the opportunity was to consolidate all the claim engines for a large conglomerate called Cigna Healthcare. And Cigna had grown to a large insurance company by acquiring smaller insurance companies in US.
Alright.
And what we were tasked with given was that there were 13 claims engines, and we were to consolidate them to 3 engines and standardize the policy administration across.
Right.
So that's when I, as it is, did the technical piece of it. I used to make test cases, test all the coding done by our coders, do quality assurance programs, and then from there I moved to Accenture, which was in 2005. And over there I did diverse roles. I started with insurance, but it was not health insurance, it was more into property and casualty. We were working with one of the largest UK insurers over there, and we used to sell home insurance, pet insurance, service them, do all kind of stuff. And from there I moved into various other roles in finance, in business shared services, and finally I led one of the largest F&A deals with Accenture, which was for a music company out of UK. So did quite a bit of different roles over there, and I had in between a stint in Netherlands too. So from Accenture I moved to Netherlands for almost an year, where I standardized the working of a couple of our insurance clients in Netherlands. And then from there, Accenture, I moved to Helionext, where I've been there for last 12 years now. And we've been working in both healthcare and IT professional staffing space. And we've been able to grow this business from where it was to where it is right now. So that's a little bit about my journey. And like I said, yes, it's a graph, it's like a ECG graph. It has its own ups and downs, but that's when you know that you're alive.
A doctor is never without a medical anecdote, Evan, I must say. And that was when one diverse experience that you just mentioned. Music was one of the, I think, one sector that you just missed out. You might have had an experience there. So, although my next question is about talking about challenges. With one very pertinent challenge that you just mentioned, that you were struggling to shut down a computer. So I think that is one of the first challenges that you had in the career. So, but on a serious note, you just scaled out for us a very diverse experience with so many companies that you were associated with, MNCs and startups, etc. But I'm sure there is a predefined set of challenges which everybody as a corporate employee faces on all levels. Maybe now you're at a leadership level as well. So could you maybe tell our viewers a few set of challenges that you face that would just help them maybe pave their journey through? So yeah.
So the first challenge which I felt was that there was discrimination, which you would feel not really from anybody telling you, but you could see it like when you go for an interview and you tell them you're a doctor. They say, how come you come for this interview?
Right.
So I'm sure there are many budding doctors who are thinking of being an entrepreneur, but everybody thinks doctors can only just treat patients and do nothing else, which is still a myth. If they can learn so deeply about human body, they can definitely do different things too. So that was my challenge. till like when I had done almost 10 years in my life, like in career. And it's been always like next project in Accenture, and everybody will like, oh, he's a doc, what will he know about this? But then you learn. I guess that's the second most important thing which I feel that everybody should work on is one, don't fear the challenge. Like there will be challenges, and everybody will have their own set of challenges. What I had, you may not have the same one, but you'll have. But don't fear them, face them, and just work upon them. If somebody believes like this is what I need to do, then that's what you need to do. The other biggest challenge which I guess once you as it is move from one phase to another is from corporate to a startup is a big jump. So I'm sure that there are many as it is of budding entrepreneurs who are thinking of leaving their cushy jobs and as it is move into an entrepreneurial venture. So that's a big challenge, and especially when you move from a company like Accenture, which at that point in time had like 200,000 plus employees, to a company which had only like 150 employees. So it's definitely a sea change in your job description per se. I would say. So and it's a big responsibility because over there were people above you who were making sure that you just get the business and you deliver, whereas over here you are the one who's going to make sure everything. So that's other big challenge which I feel that all the entrepreneurs would face once they start their journey is from where to get clients, where to get the first client. In fact, that's a big interesting stuff. And then definitely the finances, managing everything, managing your costs, and trying to be as it is. Perseverance is one thing which I feel that is important. Like if you believe, you need to, as it is, yes, there will be failures. I won't say that my journey has not been without failures. I've had many failures in my professional career where I made decisions and they didn't work out. So I would say that just don't get bogged down because failures are part of success. If there are no failures, there is no success, because that's the whole way of looking at it. There will be failures, and then that's how you realize that yes, now you have success.
Right, and with failures come a lot of learnings, and which probably help you through a long way. So exactly. I'm sure you very well mentioned about the transition that you faced from an MNC to an entrepreneurial journey that you just ventured out, and from the difference that I think one has from an MNC to a startup, and I'm sure that you start with somewhere, right? You grow up the corporate ladder. You started with eventually something else, but now you are here at say top of the corporate ladder where you're leading a set of employees, where you're leading the entire business of a company. So I'm just here to ask you some of the leadership principles that you would just mention, just would like to mention for all our budding entrepreneurs. A couple of those principles that they can keep an intact while they are building their own teams. I'm sure a person who is just just starting to venture out has to build a foundation team, right? And then has to increase and build its team. So some of the principles that you have.
In fact, I'll tell you the principles which have stuck around with me for last 18 or 19 plus years. And these are the principles which originally I learned at GE, because like everybody knows, GE was the training ground for all corporate leaders. Like people have been as this learning over there and moving out and following what was taught to them at that point in time when they worked over there. So there were 4 E's which as this were the core things which we used to do. One is energy. You need to have energy yourself. You cannot go with a face down any day, anytime, anywhere. That's what you are seen as an entrepreneur, you are seen as the leader. So
Right.
so you need to have energy all the time yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Your energy energizes everybody around you. So if you are full of energy, you disseminate that energy to others, and then they will disseminate to the ones who are working with them. So that's how the whole system will work.
Sure.
In scientific words, energy is never created or destroyed. It's just transformed from one form to another, and that's what we are. We are source of energy. We have our source from somewhere else, but we need to keep on passing it to others, and that's what we need to do. The two more important principles which you should have is edge. Edge means educate yourself. Make sure that you learn everything before you start your journey. It's at times we just get carried with some ideas, and we feel that okay, we can do it. Do a thorough investigation before you as this move into anything. Make sure that you've understood every pro and con. It's still like it's a business thing. It never, not everything works out as per plan. It's always said that man proposes and God disposes. So there will be as these things which we plan, but may not work out as what we thought. But from our perspective, we should have education and we should have that edge to understand everything. And finally, the most important for any entrepreneur is execution. Ideas, there are thousands and thousands of ideas. How well you execute the idea is of the most important part. If you can't execute what you think that can be done, it's just as good as just the idea, nothing else. So till the time you can't execute it and make it a business, it's just an idea.
Great.
So execution is the most important thing. I wish everybody luck and tell them that these two things, definitely edge and execution, are very important. Make sure that you actually go through everything before you jump into something. And because there's a lot, as it is, there are a lot of hopes. It's your family, it's your parents. Everybody's like, okay, you're going to do something new, something different. Everybody's pretty hopeful, and we know not everybody is successful. In fact,
Right.
if you look at all the startups which happen all the time in India, the percentage ratio of successful startups is pretty limited. So learn from that. Understand everything before you move into this. And then last is execution. Once you made up your mind, you understood everything, and execution, finally it comes down to execution. What I've realized is that we've had so many good ideas where we thought that okay, we can do this, and it's pretty easy. It seems pretty easy, but when you go and try and put it into practice,
Right.
that's when you realize that it's not that cakewalk which we thought it was.
It is. Thank you so much. It was, I think, an amazing description of all the leadership principles. And while we are, evidently talking about execution, at VOH Incubator now, since we are interacting with a set of budding startups who are just venturing out, I think the longest journey that maybe a founder has is from the ideation to execution. I mean, everybody has a brilliant idea, but a journey to execute it is, I think, one of the biggest ones. And the role that we are trying to play here at VOH Incubator is the same as in with all of your all guidance. We are just trying to build an ecosystem for all these entrepreneurs to help them guide through all of their ways. So what do you think the role such as VOH Incubator could play in a journey of an entrepreneur? Let's say back in those days when you started venturing out and starting your own journey, what do you think role of such ecosystems would have been played? A detrimental change in the guidance.
See, from the times when we started to where we are right now, there's a sea change as to how things worked. See, if I look at it, how my parents worked to how I worked, we were still in a very hierarchical system. We used to look up and see somebody will guide us to do it. But right now entrepreneurs are taking on themselves that they will do it themselves, and that's where I feel that it's a sea change. Like everybody is trying to get to an idea and make it a success. And what I feel that what we can do differently at VOH is help them not make those mistakes which we were looking upon for our seniors to tell us that we don't make that mistakes, and we had that luxury because we had those guys as it is, and it was pretty hierarchical. I had to, if I were to make a decision, I had to go to my manager to check whether I can make that decision or not. But over here, you are the guy who's going to make that decision. So you have very little help at that point in time to really know whether you're going to make a right decision or not, and your whole idea depends upon that decision. So what we felt is that at VOH Incubator we can actually help them with some of these challenges which they will face in executing their ideas, that they don't have those pitfalls which normally, and that's why the success ratio is low, is because of this reason only.
Right.
Because nobody's there to guide them. Like this is not the best way to execute what you're trying to execute.
Absolutely, yeah. So yeah, I mean that's the answer that we have to all of our budding entrepreneurs who intend to venture out, that we are here to provide this perfect set of guidance, and all of our mentors are just striving to just pave a way to all of you all. So yeah, diving in, we've had enough of challenges, we've had enough of journeys and leadership principles, just to tweak it a little. And while we've been talking about a lot of IT experience that you have, I'm sure there might be some new budding technology or gadget that you're just putting an eye on, that you're just fascinated with. So there is something.
So I'm not sure, but I am fascinated with the VR world.
Right.
Which
it is fascinating.
Yeah. So that'll be something which I feel will change marketing to a large extent as to how it's being done today to what it will be in future. And I definitely look forward to it, because that's something which is, there is AR, there is VR and all that kind of stuff which I feel that is pretty cool. Like
it is
that
cool.
is
It is cool. And yeah, lastly, just to sign off, one piece of advice to all the entrepreneurs out there, and one word that comes to your mind instantly when you hear the word maybe business or entrepreneurship.
So my only, as it is one word when I hear this, is perseverance.
Right.
Because like I said, that success doesn't come easy and it doesn't come like instant. You have to work hard. And there's a famous saying, the hard work will beat the talent till the time talent doesn't work hard. So you may have talent, but if you don't work hard, the hard work will always beat the talent. So and this is the example, if you see like Sachin Tendulkar, people say that he's naturally gifted, but look at it, how much hard work he used to put in to perfect himself.
Right.
So that's what it is like. That's from my side is perseverance. Failures will come, and even if you have talent, you have to work hard.
Sure.
Success won't come easy.
Sure. Thank you so much, Dr. Manu. It was such an amazing interaction with you, and I'm sure that all of our audiences might have gained a lot of insights from the experiences that you shared, and there has been a lot of diverse experiences that you shared. So thank you so much, Dr. Manu. It was a pleasure to have you today.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.